more about the guy in the background going, yeah. You know who else I'd like to know more about? Rainy Day Women, Bob Dylan. The black guys in the background laughing. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? They're just like having a good old time. No, you know what I'm talking about?
I don't think I know that song. Yeah, I don't know the song.
The Stone You Win.
But I don't know that part, or I don't know the laughing in the background.
Oh, come on. Oh, no, I'll just have to
now it's ringing a bell.
Oh, no, here, I'm going to do this for you. I can only play
can
so much of it. I can only play so much of it because, we don't have ASCAP or BMI. By the way, this is the Jeff Dubay Show. We are live at, I keep saying live, and it's a podcast. I don't know if it's fucking live. You could be listening anytime. But we're at Devil's Advocate. You think I get the hang of this at some point, wouldn't you?
Well, but people are listening live.
Well, some people listen live.
There's some listening right now.
You are listening live to Brent Musburg. We are at Devil's Advocate on 10th and Marquette, home of great beer specials, happy hour specials.
Good prices.
Featuring the Black Widow right now. The Black Widow is a chocolate porter that McGovern sampled yesterday.
I sampled it last night. It was really good. Really good.
You're a big fan of?
Yes, that's the good. That'll be my winter beer now. Now that it's cooled down outside, that's what I'll be drinking while we're here.
Where the hell did my Rainy Day Women go?
Oh, boy.
There it is.
Showstopper.
No. Not at all. Is it playing? Okay, now there's guys in the background just kind of laughing, whooping it up and saying, yeah. I'll get there. Hang on. I'm not playing it yet. See, it's not on the air yet. Oh, I gotta wait. So we only get 30 seconds, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna waste those 30 seconds. You don't know this song? You're a Dylan fan.
Of course I know the song. I just can't picture this chuckle.
Right.
In the background, there's just guys whooping it up, having a good old time. Hang on. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna give you 30 seconds.
Well, they'll stone you when you're trying to be so good.
Yes, sir.
They'll stone you just like
So you're seriously asking in a song about getting stoned why there's guys laughing in the background.
You can't hear it good enough. You can't hear it good enough. This is a bad bit from the beginning. It just had no chance of succeeding. But
all right then.
Yeah, we're done with that. This is the Jeff Dubay Show. We're at Devil's Advocate. The guest is personality and fitness expert Jason Linse, the proprietor of personalityandfitness.com.
Woohoo!
Go ahead and plug away.
Rule. Oh yeah, I can still plug that.
Plug away.
Personalityfitness.com, the website that exists to help people reach their health and fitness goals by going and taking a personality assessment and learning what that means in relation to them, the challenges they might have when it comes to an exercise program, a nutrition program, or what have you. And if you go to personalityfitness.com, you can take a assessment for free that would normally cost you a few dollars. Use username promo1, the number 1, and then the password would be Dubay, lowercase D-U-B-A-Y.
Lowercase D.
Yeah, baby.
I must just kill you, though, to sit, right 3 feet away from a guy with limited personality and never work out, ever. I mean,
who's constantly offering you shitty food?
Who's killing who? Who's killing who in that scenario?
Whatever. I've accepted me for me. I mean, it is what it is at this point.
I guess you have.
It is what it is at this point.
Although you've been walking around a lot, you've been doing some of that, right?
Oh, I do every day. I mean, I've got 1 hour a day that I have to be doing something, and it's only 3 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 5 o'clock. We do this little podcast. But I spend more time downtown than investment people over on Marquette and whatever in the financial district. I spend more time than the gangsters who hang out at the library. I mean, the library is a scary damn place. You ever been to this library?
I've never been in an inner city library in my life.
There's some criminal activity, and it is the grossest bathroom in North America. I mean, it's disgusting.
You told me a bathroom story once.
I was dropping a deuce. Sometimes you do what you got to do, and I was dropping a deuce at the Minneapolis Public Library, and some guys walked in and they're like, "Damn, what up?" I don't want to say the word. I can't say the word, but he used the N-word. He said, "Blah blah blah, I got to take a shit in here. And he got to get out of the damn thing. Give me a courtesy flush." And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, can a guy just take a shit without being harassed by the Crips and the Bloods in the bathroom? It was killing me.
You kept your mouth shut, didn't you?
Damn straight.
Yeah, you didn't say a word.
And I walked out very sheepishly. Did not even wash my hands. I mean, I washed them.
That's par for the course.
Well, no,
yeah.
I washed them. I just didn't wash them right there. I decided to go down the road and wash them.
You just want to get the hell out of there.
I'm telling you. I mean, it's and you can't really bust anybody for loitering because who's not loitering at the library? I'm loitering. I go there and use the internet and sit and watch stuff on Netflix on my laptop. I'm loitering.
At least you're not watching porn.
No, well, I think there are restrictions on what you can do with their Wi-Fi, but I'm not positive.
I thought that
I've never pushed
constitutional right in America that you could watch porn in the library.
I
I swear
time
there's
out,
been
time out. You
shit
can't
about
you
that.
can't sit at the library and go to lobstertube.com.
I've never tried.
What will
I've never
Well,
pushed
you have
the
to
envelope.
try just to see what would
now it's
happen.
for the show. Now it's show prep.
I'm going right after this.
There's security in there.
Go
I mean,
check. I just
the
wanna
library's
see.
got muscle. The library's got goons.
Well, what are they going to come tap you on the? I'm not saying.
I've been tapped on the shoulder at the library because I kind of accidentally dozed off.
I'm not saying open up a video. Go to the homepage. Just, can you get to the homepage? That's all
I've never gone to Lobster Tube.
Yeah,
That's not one of my
I don't
go-tos.
believe that.
It's not one of my go-tos. It's just not. It's just not one of my go-tos.
What is one of your go-tos?
XXXBunker.com.
Okay.
It's a solid,
Making a note.
Solid choice. It's all free,
Yeah.
Good quality, lengthy scenes, it's solid. It's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Lengthy and solid.
Oh, don't be someone. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone. Leave it.
You took porn and you brought it down.
Yeah.
Not sure how you did that. You actually made it worse.
Hey, I got
I did
skilled.
not. I did not make it worse.
No, he did. With
Oh,
the,
he did.
with the-
Yeah, it's all me. I'm a bad egg.
Yeah, it's all me. All right, back in the days of the PA Dubay show, and they still do this over at the Fan. They got a button bar. They do some drops.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to put together some stuff for that it might be timely to use from the show from time to time. And we're going to play a few of them here just to kind of break them in and see what you think. And people want to tweet me or Facebook me and let me know what they think of these as maybe having a future in the show. With these tiny little drops. I'd like to hear what they have to say. So here we go. I'm going to play the first one for you. Here we go.
I don't know how to put this, but I'm kind of a big deal.
What do you think?
Thumbs up.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's
Classic.
a good one.
It belongs because I'm an egomaniac. That's not going to play that.
That's true, yeah.
And then I get people on the show from time to time, yourself included, who might just they tell a story that they think is an anecdote, but as Steve Martin points out in Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, not every story is an anecdote. You have to pick and choose.
You have to discriminate.
So when people tell a lame story, they get this.
Great story. Compelling and rich.
We'll play that again.
Great story. Compelling and rich.
What do you think?
I so far so good.
Yeah, they both fit.
Yeah.
Very solid. Very solid.
It's Ron Burgundy on both, right?
And we know my history. I had a 2.5-year dance with the devil, known as crack cocaine, clean and sober for 3.5 years now, coming up on 4, as a matter of fact. And I like to play this from time to time. It fits me perfectly.
I'm not on crack. I'm straight up mentally ill.
that one for
That's
sure
the
has
Is that
one.
tailor-made?
Yeah.
Tailor-made. I'm not on crack. I'm straight up mentally ill. This one might be a little lengthy, but it makes a show reference. And rags on white dudes.
This show is our chance to break the shackles. The white dudes want to see us fail.
What do you think? Are there white dudes who want to see me fail? Well, there are plenty of white dudes who want to see me fail. I mean, it crosses racial
Yeah,
lines.
I don't think- yeah,
I mean, the need to see me fail crosses. It breaks through every boundary.
It transcends all race.
It really does. Genders,
Yeah,
everything.
sexual orientation.
Yeah, it really does. This one's perfectly made for the show, by the way. Here it goes.
He can suck it. He can suck it.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, that's staying.
That's how we should end
Yep.
every
Yeah.
show.
Yep, I like that one. I like that one. This one's on the bubble. It's a celebratory one.
High five. Whoa.
High five.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
You don't like that one?
Try it again. I didn't catch that.
High five. Whoa.
No, that's gotta go.
You don't like that one? All
Lame.
right.
Tough is just
All right.
audio.
All right. Here's what when somebody pisses me off.
Look, I don't like to throw around the word butthead too often.
Not bad.
What do you think?
I'm a fan.
That's not bad.
I'm lukewarm on
Okay,
that
here's the last one, and I will use this constantly because I'm arrogant and I do know more than anybody I ever talked to about anything.
Except me.
I know more than you.
Yes.
That one's good.
That's kind
That
of
one's good.
Yeah. So we got to start. We got like 3 or 4, and since we only have an hour on an hour program 3 times a week, which by the way will eventually become 4 days a week, and will eventually become 5 days a week, and then it will eventually become a couple hours a day. As the thing grows, it's like you basically in the world of podcasting. For those who wonder why we only do 3 hours a week, you do as much show as you need to support the sponsors you have. It's like you don't buy the minivan until you have the kids. So I mean, once we have the kids,
Really?
once we have the advertisers, we'll go longer. And once we get another location or 2, added to the mix. As a matter of fact, Sean is he still in the other room? Was he in there when you went out to buy your
I
beer?
did not see Sean.
Oh, did he leave? That'd
Probably
be cold.
snuck out of here.
He might have saw
cold-hearted.
me and then left.
That'd be
That could've
cold-hearted.
been
Well,
it.
he was out here. he had a very important meeting. No, he's still here. Dad, I can see him from here. You idiot. He's right. Yes,
Is he in the corner right there?
Yes.
Oh,
No, not right there. He's up against the bar with the blonde lady, like the table adjacent to where we used to
Well,
do
he
the
better
show.
be in discussion because I was up at the bar and I didn't see him.
Well, yeah, he's deep into something. But it's a business meeting. I didn't mean it that way. I mean, it's a business meeting. I did not mean it that way. When I said he's deep into something, I didn't mean that. As soon as I said that, I'm like, oh, that's not at all what I intended to say. But hey, why don't we get one of these breaks out of the way and we'll come back in 90 seconds? Is that what the count is on this, Montgomery? Is it 90?
It's actually about 74.
Oh, see, I've been saying 60, and that's pretty dishonest.
In fact, actually, in just a little on-air production meeting, you probably shouldn't tell them how long they can just fast forward either.
Good point.
You don't want them to think about how much longer they got to wait.
Well,
so.
that's
Why don't you come back in a little
Let's
bit?
take a break. Let me enjoy it.
Folks who listen to the show, they know that I live in the uptown area, right down Pleasant Avenue, as a matter of fact, and I'm at the corner of Pleasant Lake, is where Uptown is, and I have been here numerous times, had numerous business dealings with them. It's just a nice place with good, honest people. Bob Jacobson, the owner, you run the place. You've always been good to me.
Thanks, Jeff. We try. That's part of our business. We're here to help people, and so everybody walks in the door. We hope we can help.
Well, what I've always appreciated is when people are nice to people who are the low man on the totem pole. Like when I was a bat boy, I liked the star guys who were nice to the bat boy. Right. And I mean, I came in here and you guys didn't know who I was. You didn't know I had a radio show, and you treated me great. I mean, just a guy off the street.
Listen, that's the idea with I think a smaller family type business. Somebody walks in the door. We don't want to let them see everybody gets treated the same way, and we hope that's the case. And we don't want to see them leave without. We try our very best.
It's really easy. It's easy. It's low pressure. Good, honest people. Right on the corner of Lake Street and Pleasant Avenue. You guys got to check out Uptown Pond.
Hi, I'm Terry Daniel, and I've been a voice actor in Minneapolis for over 2 decades now. How often are you getting compliments on your voice? Now is the time to do something about it. If you're interested in getting into voiceovers, please contact me via my website at universalvoicetalent.com.
Production value. That's what we're all about.
You just can't move the mic.
All about the production value. A bumper. There's a bumper coming out of a break. Okay, I think it's 30 seconds. I don't want to get in trouble. That was 23 seconds, dude.
You got to fade it out. Which you can't really.
Let's do it again. Here we go.
Slowly.
Here we go. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah,
hey.
I love it. Now kill it.
If people had a visual, but I love that song. I mean, woke up this morning and got myself a beer. Oh, a beer. That's one of the class. I'm not a huge Doors guy. I think Jim Morrison was just a drug-addled moron. But that's a really good song.
That's a great song if you're ever at a bar in Turtle Lake with your best buddies just screaming it at the top of your lungs.
Well, that's pretty specific.
That's one of those
That's
ones.
a really specific way to enjoy it.
It's only fun if you enjoy it that way.
That's a very specific way to enjoy that song.
Good to know.
Hey, Adrian Peterson in New York City today had his appeal heard. But there's so many reasons to be pissed off right now. I mean, Ray Rice got reinstated. But Ray Rice got to go in front of a U.S. judge who basically shot down Roger Goodell as a will-imposing, law-imposing Nazi. I mean, just saying, you can't just do whatever you want to people. You're not that important. You're just a fucking Roger fucking Goodell. Who do you think you are? He said that they basically said that, he gave this guy a 2-game suspension, and then all of a sudden you found out what he really did, and you gave him more, and they called it double jeopardy. I mean, a U.S. court said double jeopardy. I mean, and in terms of, you can only be punished one time for any offense legally, but Roger Goodell thought he could do it however he wanted because he's Roger Goodell.
Was there ever any point where it was brought up whether or not the NFL had seen the video before it was made public?
Well, there's been a lot of talk about whether they had knowledge of it or not. They denied ever having seen it. They denied ever having knowledge. They said they tried to get their hands on it. They were denied it. But there's like a voicemail of a guy who works for the NFL talking about having seen it, and that totally hangs them out to dry. So, I mean, all of a sudden they get the public outrage, so they go ahead and slap more of a suspension on Ray Rice. And I'm not defending Ray Rice. What he did was animalistic. I mean, it was disgusting, and way worse than anything Adrian Peterson did. And I can't believe that there are people who see that differently. You're talking about a man who angrily and savagely beat a woman down, as opposed to a guy who's just punishing a misbehaving child, and he's too stupid, and I mean stupid, to know the proper way to do it. And I think Adrian Peterson's guilty of being an idiot and being clueless and whatever, oblivious. But Ray Rice was a fucking animal for what he did.
What did he get charged with as far as crime, Ray Rice?
I don't know.
Because regardless of charges or not, don't they have rules and laws where you hit somebody.
Well,
Because
you mean does the league have rules? You mean?
Well, forget the league. I'm just.
Are you talking about the law?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, well, you'd think it would be a kind of an. Oh, she refused to cooperate with prosecution.
Right.
He
She didn't
married
want to
her.
press charges.
He married her, so she wouldn't have to. You never can be forced to testify
okay.
against his spouse.
But even though it's on video,
that's why they got married. It's a scam.
Well, yeah, I think they got married like a week later, didn't they?
Yeah, it's just a sham. Yeah,
I saw
she
her,
must
I
have
saw
had
her
a really
on TV
heavy veil.
Yesterday, she was on I don't know, Oprah or some shit or The View.
She's not a proud woman.
I didn't hear the audio. Did you catch that?
No, but she's just not a proud woman. I mean, she's somebody who chased the money and was willing to get beat up to be an NFL running back's wife. And now she kisses his ass publicly.
Under 3 years on that marriage?
At the most. It's just disgusting. She's just a Jersey chaser who's kissing her husband's illegal, guilty ass so he can make money so she can get paid. I mean, the whole thing's disgusting.
Think there's a prenup there?
Well, I bet not. I mean, because she saved his ass by marrying him.
Yeah, maybe that's how she got out of it.
I mean, she saved his ass. I mean, so she couldn't be forced to testify against him. She pressed no charges. She gave no statement. She did not cooperate with any form of prosecution. So I think they just dropped it. They said, all right, well, then whatever. But although you'd think the video would be enough.
Yeah, they had enough evidence to prosecute.
Well, I don't know, because I don't know what the legal standing is of it. But I mean, she totally got on his side.
That's why I'm asking. It's not uncommon in domestic abuse cases for
domestic
this to
assault.
happen. Domestic assault, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
For this to
Well,
happen.
that's what the legal term is.
But I thought the laws sometimes, and I mean, obviously we're not legal minds here, but I thought that
I've had some courtroom time.
Yeah, you've got some experience.
Yeah,
no
I'm
doubt.
an amateur.
But I thought they could do stuff anyway and say, hey, listen, even if you don't press charges, I mean,
they should be able to.
It's assault.
And that could probably depend on the state, the city. I mean, all of that too. I mean, Vegas could be. It was in Vegas.
Atlantic City.
Oh yeah, AC. That's right.
Yeah.
That's classic.
You ever been there?
So classy. No. Well, yeah, I've driven through. I've taken
I spent
a
3
visual
nights in
car
Atlantic
tour
City
basically.
one time. Yes.
Well, if you're a block away from the Strip in Atlantic City, you are in
Deep
probably
Hood.
the worst part of town.
Well, doesn't HBO have a show about hookers of Atlantic City?
I
could have sworn I saw that.
They sure could have.
I'm pretty sure
new
they
idea
did.
if they haven't.
The one night that I was there, they could have had a show, Jason looking for hookers in Atlantic City.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm
it would have been compelling.
I'm kidding. But it was.
No,
but
you know how to find it.
Yeah, it's not hard. But no, but that's what she said. But I was walking home from the casino to the hotel, and the hotel was off the Strip. And yes, I made a wrong turn, and I literally called. I was dating a girl at the time, so it was all good. And I'm like, look, just talk to me because I don't know if I'm going to make it.
It looks like a war zone.
I was walking through Baghdad.
Yeah.
It's I've never been on foot in Atlantic City. I've driven by it through it.
Just don't do it. Just go to the Taj Mahal and just camp.
The hookers in New York City, by the way, they don't play. I mean, they're out there for business. When we visit my uncle in Manhattan, one of my favorite things is we have him. We all pile in the minivan and say, "Show us some hookers," and he takes us we drive to neighborhoods and the women are, if it's late enough at night, they're walking around like a thong and a bra. I mean, they're just sticking them in windows of cars. And he said, if we came back here in 2 hours, we would see butt-ass naked women walking the street. Well, they'd have heels, but other than that, butt-ass naked. I mean, they get. Well, I mean,
what year is this?
This was just when was the last time I was there? 2003 was the last time I was there.
Wow.
But I mean, it's like you get to be like 2 a.m. and it's like it's like the blowouts, right? They're going out of business sale almost. I mean, well, they got to get it. Their time's running out at 2 a.m. So they got to put it out. They got to put it out there.
Well, the bars are open until 4, though. You think
well, okay, well, whatever. Maybe they're butt-ass naked at 4. I don't remember. I don't remember exactly.
I'm not buying this. They're actually.
I saw them in
There's
nothing.
no risk of a cop coming through. And
well, it's legal to be topless in New York City. Didn't you see that recently? Where a couple of movie star chicks just walked down the street nude and took Instagram pictures of it. And all this thing.
Good for them.
New York's a fucked up city.
Good for them. Be yourselves out there, topless
ladies.
I'm
not
strut your stuff.
No,
I'm not against it.
No, I'm for it.
I don't think that. I think there'd be a law against it if I went shirtless in New York City. I think there'd be.
But you're making it sound like they had nothing on but high heels.
Oh no, the women I saw had like a skimpy little, they basically were dressed like strippers. They had skimpy little G-string underwear and a lacy bra.
Well, that's fine.
But my uncle said if we would come back here in a couple hours, you'd see nudity.
This is June, July, August. This isn't happening.
Well, of course. Yeah. Well, of course. I mean, they're not like crazy fans at a Packer game. I mean, they don't paint their chests and act stupid on Miller Lite, which, by the way, McGovern was drinking at the Vikings game.
Well, I tried
to.
You
were drinking Miller Lite.
And it froze, and it's because it's not real beer.
That represents them, so of course I'm going to take the free beer.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't I?
Better man than me.
But he was complaining about it freezing. It's like, well, of course it froze.
I would have took it, sold it to some Rube, and bought a real beer. But
well, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, once you've already
the beer trade.
Once you're already about 18 shots of Fireball and 6 sagas
what the
in,
fuck's Fireball?
It's a terrible cinnamon flavored.
How many
shots? Like Hot 100, if you remember Hot 100.
By the way, anybody listening that drinks Fireball, and I'm guessing this is an everyday occurrence for you.
No.
It's not whiskey. It's never going to be whiskey.
It's a cordial, basically.
Don't pretend it's whiskey.
No, it's not.
It doesn't count.
No,
I've
never heard of it.
I agree.
Don't tell your friends you drank
whiskey.
17 shots of whiskey. You drank 17 shots of some fucking cinnamon flavored shit.
Yeah.
So it's less strong than whiskey, you're telling me?
It's probably not less strong.
No, it's probably 80 proof.
But it's not whiskey.
Well, if you had 17
strong.
shots of whiskey, wouldn't you die?
I'm exaggerating. I mean, we split a fifth.
Okay, hyperbole.
So it was a lot. I mean, half a fifth is still a bunch of shots.
Yeah,
sure.
You were feeling good the next day, I bet.
The hangover started at 7 p.m. and went. So when I woke up yesterday, I was all right. It was actually shocking.
Yeah, day drinking, man. You know about day drinking. I mean, by like 7 o'clock at night.
What are you trying to say?
I mean, because you're hungover by 7 o'clock at night when the party. I've seen you drink during the day. That's all.
The best is sleeping off a hangover when you can just sleep through the night and it's gone. That is the best way. I love day.
I second that emotion.
But it's hard. I mean, back in my drinking day, I was never a drinker, so I really can't speak from experience, to be honest with you. I mean, I've never been really like hammered during the day.
It is a character flaw of yours, I will admit.
Yeah, I mean, I can get buzzed off 2 Summit EPAs. I'm not kidding.
I've never seen you have more than one.
I don't drink. So take that, you the mean Facebook guy who tried to call me out 2 weeks ago.
In your face.
So anyway, so Ray Rice had his appeal with the U.S. judge, and the U.S. judge said, well, you punished him once. You gave him a 2-game suspension. You cannot go back and punish him again because that is double jeopardy. And then she also pointed out the fact that he should be punished under the old guidelines, not the new, which the new guidelines, so in other words, the old guidelines were more lenient. The new guidelines that are stricter, for your first domestic assault case, you get 6 games. And
that was created because of Ray Rice, right?
Yes.
Wasn't that new set of rules?
Right, yes, right around that time. And it was a knee-jerk, or maybe it was an appropriate reaction. Whatever. It was a reaction to Ray Rice and Adrian Peterson. But nonetheless, you can't impose rules retroactively. Yeah, I mean, for one thing, you cannot come up with, if you're Roger Goodell, you think you can do whatever you want. You think you wear an S on your chest. I mean, but you cannot. Any form of punishment, any punishment guideline in the National Football League has to be done through collective bargaining. In other words, you got to sit down with the NFLPA and say, we would like to impose these types of penalties for people who commit these types of offenses. But you can't just say, we're doing it. You can't do it unilaterally. You've got to sit down and do it through collective bargaining. So these even if you were allowed to be, a complete, totalitarianistic prick or tyrant, as Goodell is attempting to be, worst case scenario, a guy for his first offense on a domestic assault type case gets 6 games. I mean,
by the new rules.
Yeah. I mean, worst possible case scenario. And again, I'm trying to remember if Peterson has ever had anything like this before, and I don't believe he has.
No.
So this would be a first offense.
He's never been suspended for anything.
People are looking at us curiously, and I don't like it. I think they're on a date. They're 3 dudes. Anyway, I digress.
Well, no,
I mean, it's
we're 3 dudes.
Not that there's anything wrong.
It's getting creepy. Keep going.
Well, not that there's anything wrong with that, but the Peterson deal with, he's missed 11 games. Worst case scenario, you'd think he'd only have to miss 6. But now his appeal is being heard by someone in the league office, Troy Vincent. And I mean, and he's. I'm not saying he can't get a fair shake there, but why does Ray Rice get an impartial U.S. judge, and Adrian Peterson gets a guy appointed by Roger Goodell? I mean, because Goodell doesn't. He thought he should at least remove himself from the hearing. And the official NFL protocol, by the way, Goodell levels the suspension, and Goodell hears the appeal, which is fucking bizarre. I mean, but
the league obviously agreed to that. The players obviously agreed to that in collective bargaining, which is stupid of them.
Yeah, I hope they. Well, God, I wonder if they did. I mean, the way he just imposes stuff, who knows? But the fact that he gives the punishment and then gets to hear the appeal is so blatantly unfair. And they have managed in high-profile cases. The NFLPA has made enough noise to get somebody else to hear these appeals. With Ray Rice, it was a U.S. district judge. With Peterson, it's Troy Vincent. But nonetheless, he's still Troy Vincent is. I think he might actually have Peterson's back on this thing. But nonetheless, he is a league appointed. He works for Roger Goodell. And the fact that there was ever a system in place where Goodell gives the punishment and then here's the appeal. I mean, what is that? I mean, what's he going to wake up and just be in a different mood one day? It's the same guy hearing the same case.
Messed up.
It's totally messed up, but he thinks he can do anything he wants.
Yeah, well,
this is where you talk.
Well, yeah, I don't really have much to say other than, Goodell doesn't have any fans anymore.
Well, the owners would love him.
Yeah, they do love him.
Yeah, the owners give him a hand job.
And why is that?
because he's out to clean up the league. He's out to get their backs.
And because he's taking all the bad press.
Okay.
He's the one that's the enemy and not them.
The Vikings don't. When I say the Vikings, I'm talking about the Wolves. They don't want Adrian Peterson back. They certainly don't want him back this year. Zimmer would take him in a heartbeat, and the players would take him in a heartbeat. But I think that basically Goodell got Wilfs back by trying to level a lengthy suspension late in the year, that by the time an appeal is heard and ruled on, it's going to be too late anyway. The Wilfs want nothing to do with him right now.
Why not?
Because they want to get – well, number one, I think it would be a PR nightmare. I think
really?
The U.S. banks of the world.
Do you think they still have sponsors putting pressure on them?
I think they would. And this gets them off the hook. This makes them not have to make a difficult decision. And I think they love that. And then they can also get to the end of the season and release him and not owe him another dime. And I'm not sure that right now. I got to believe that's their plan A. I mean, it doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I think right now that's their plan A.
Their plan to what? Because
get to the end of the season and release him.
What is he getting right now? $700,000 a week?
Well, I don't know what his weekly thing comes out to, but it's $12.75 million a year.
Okay, whatever. That's about what it would come down to then.
Oh yeah. Well, no, it'd be because $700,000 a week would come to $8.4 million. Or a month. That's how much a month. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to do the math on this, but yeah, if he was making $700,000 a month, it'd come to $8.4 million.
So you don't think they want him next year?
I think the Wilfs have gotten to a point where they just think this is a pain in the ass, and they would rather not have to be the ones who employ a quote unquote child.
Do you want him next year at $13 million? At 30 years old?
It's a tough call because
coming off this
was going to be a telling year for him because this is I don't like trying to impose the standards of every other running back in the league on Adrian Peterson because he's proven to be unlike any in the league.
So far, yeah.
I mean, look how quickly Chris Johnson fell off the face of the earth.
Chris who?
Look,
yeah.
I mean, he's on the Jets now. He played last night. Anybody watch that game, by the way? Miami and the Jets? I couldn't. Isn't that a song?
Is that
an Elton John song?
Benny and the Jets.
Miami and the Jets.
I watched it because we're playing the Jets this week, so I wanted to
break down aqua jumpsuit.
Yeah, really to check the O-line and defensive line.
Absolutely.
And really,
I mean,
watched it twice.
I don't think the mothers of the players watch that game.
No one watched that game.
Nobody watched the Dolphins Jets. But why were we even talking about the Dolphins and the Jets? How'd that even come up?
Chris Johnson.
Oh yeah, Chris Johnson. But you see, running backs. I mean, this is what's commonly believed in the league these days. Like a running back gets to 30, and he doesn't fall off. He doesn't tail off. He just. I mean, it's like falling
drops
off.
like a.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, he goes from full to empty in a heartbeat. I mean, it's like a car with a broken fuel gauge. You think you got like 3/4 of a tank, then all of a sudden you're putzing along the shoulder, bone dry.
But how many of them
happened to me before.
How many of them got a year off at
that's
this point of their career? It might be the best thing that ever happened to him.
He could come back with some fresh legs, and also how many could come back from that knee injury in one off season?
Right. I mean, 9 months.
I remember.
Basically.
You remember the week one? He was clearly running with I don't want to call it a limp, but there was a hitch in the stride. I mean, he was not healthy.
Yep.
He was. I mean, and he still. I mean, didn't he go for? He went for 2,000 yards that season.
Yes.
And he started the season with a hitch in his giddy up. I mean, he clearly wasn't running smoothly.
Right.
I mean, I would never dare to try to guess at what point Adrian Peterson's tank is empty. I don't buy it. I mean, I still.
But is any of it worth it? Even if he still has it in the tank, is it worth that money and the PR?
I hate the political correctness and the mob mentality about all this because Adrian Peterson's a good guy who's been in this community for close to 10 years and has done a lot of good, and he just is he's a shitty dad. He's a dumbass shitty dad.
To a bunch of
There's
kids
a lot
from
of
different mothers.
Well, yeah. You know what?
That's the part where when people say he's a good guy, no, you're not. He's not a good guy. He's not maybe a horrible guy, but he's not a good guy.
That's not on the resume. I mean, that's not on the job description. I mean, wanted NFL running back to go for 1,500 yards and be a hell of a guy. I mean,
no.
True.
Who gives a shit what he does?
But apparently,
as long as it's legal.
I mean, sponsors do.
Knocking up broads is not illegal. I mean, it's nothing I've ever done.
But sponsors are worried about their image when it comes to the kid thing.
Not for lack of
but
effort.
he's a good enough guy otherwise. Like,
he's not a thug. He's not a criminal.
It's such a gray area.
Do you think the fans in this town would revolt against U.S. Bank if Adrian Peterson, played for the Vikings?
No,
again?
Absolutely not.
I don't either. So
you might lose some women viewers. Actually might happen. It'd be like 3.
I doubt it though. Do you think?
There's 3 that are hardcore.
Hey, Bernard is still here.
They don't give a fuck.
Nobody knows that.
Yeah.
Look, Bernard's still here. Everybody.
They care about 30,000.
Right.
SB.
Don't leave. You can sit around for a half hour. He's got nowhere to go. So that's kind of where the things are with Peterson. He had his appeal today in New York. By the way, the decision on the Rice appeal took 3 weeks. So this could go right up to the end of the season. I mean,
he's not playing another
not
down.
Play.
And let's not forget that Vincent works for the NFL. If Goodell tells him, I don't want you to rule on this for a while, I mean, he's under the thumb of King of the World. He's under King of the World's thumb.
And he's never playing another down for the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, I'm not convinced, but I think
there's zero chance.
Well, I think him never playing for the Vikings is the favorite in the clubhouse, but I don't believe it's completely done.
It's 95-5.
What about Ray Rice though? Is he going to play?
Yeah.
There's actually...
Oh, yeah.
Somebody's going to pick him up, right?
And he's a way worse human being.
Absolutely.
Let me rephrase that.
And he's not as good of a running back.
No, but he's pretty damn good.
He's close, but he's not as good.
He's also a little younger, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong.
20
year or two.
28.
Yeah, a year or two.
7 or 8.
But his act, I don't say he's a worse human being, but his egregious act was far more egregious than Adrian Peterson's act.
Agreed.
I mean, he brutally and maliciously, with violent intent, with hate in his eyes, punched a woman hard enough to kill me.
And not only that,
I would have died.
Not only that, but once she was down, he didn't seem to give a shit.
No, he tried to drag her out.
Man.
Yes, it's a good. It's probably a good thing she was
dropped. It would have been one thing if he immediately went down and said, "Oh my God, what the fuck did I do?" Bad enough,
right?
But he just was like, "Shit, I got to cover this shit up."
And how many times have you done it? If that's your reaction,
exactly.
when you just knock the shit out of your fiance.
He had a routine down, didn't he? But he had a cleanup routine in mind.
Yeah, it's just Saturday night in your life. It's every
Saturday. I mean, for him to be eligible and Adrian Peterson did not, I think would be a gross miscarriage of justice and just a bizarre set of standards. But again,
the NFL.
Yeah, and one guy had his appeal heard by a judge, a legitimate legal, somebody who's got qualifications and wears a robe and has impartial bias. I mean, not some idiot who worked for Roger Goodell, who Roger Goodell could put under his thumb and say, "Hey, don't rule on this for a while."
Well, and you were saying earlier,
my boys, the Wilfs, they don't want to dick with this year. They want to just coast into the new year. So don't, Troy Vincent, go on vacation. Check back in with us in a month with your ruling.
You got the Wilfs in Goodell's ear, in Goodell in his ear,
and all he does is kiss the ass of the owners. He does the owners' dirty work, and they love him for it. It sucks. But
that's why he gets $40 million.
All right, are you leaving? Hey, do you have our Burger Mo's
How
cards?
much does he get paid?
No. Okay, well, then we're going to get him tomorrow. I can't wait. Next week, he said they got them all made up. I'm hungry. I want to go to Burger Mo's tomorrow. Oh, you dumbass. Oh, you got it? Well, don't leave with them.
That's what he asked.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I'm just kidding. Are you going to be at Burger Mo's tomorrow? Because I'm going to be hungry. No. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
He's got the cards, and he won't go to Burger Mo's, so I get to starve tomorrow. So Jeff starves tomorrow. Can you tell him just wasting
we'll take
wasting
care
away? I'm like 220 for God's sake. I'm wasting away. All right, get out of here.
See you, boss.
Go sell something.
225, 230.
No, I'm not 225 or 230. Jeez, you know what? I want to. It's almost time for me to do one.
I
got
to get a beer. So.
No. You're not gonna go get a beer. That for that 225 or 230 remark that you just made.
He can suck it.
Yeah, there we go. Really timely too. Really right on the money.
It took like 14 seconds.
That was good.
Well, I mean, it's like
split.
That's
14.
radio.
Okay,
Love it.
We're only beginning to implement. All right,
It's baby steps.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. No,
exactly.
what we're going to do is we're going to get this to where you have it on your computer. We're going to get this to where it's like real radio again.
Well, on my computer. It doesn't have to be on that computer.
Well, but we'll have it plugged into the board. There's ways that we're going to...
Because I got a lot of...
This is still the beginning.
I've got a lot of possibly illegal porn on this computer. I don't want that to spill over onto the air by accident.
Well, I mean, this is a
podcast.
I'm
just
kidding. I can vouch for
I'm just kidding. That was a joke. There's nothing on there.
It's not illegal. It's just
porn.
It's not illegal. It's just really
disgusting.
weird.
Why would you
shit.
make that joke? Why would you make that joke? Well,
weird shit.
Well, animal stuff.
Huh?
I think animal stuff is...
No, you don't have animal stuff.
No, I don't have anything. I have nothing. This computer is clean as a whistle. Why do you think it works so well? But anyway,
what does M on M mean? I see that sometimes.
See
anyway,
what?
Sorry.
What are you talking about? Oh, jeez, come on.
What? I don't know. I was asking. What does it mean?
Clean it. It means. Oh, come on.
He can suck it.
That's what it means.
Yeah, for sure.
Timing was almost better than
that. Well, it's jammed. It's a cell phone, for God's sake. All right. On to another subject. I have seen Nice Polonaise on diners, drive-ins, and dives. And they made something. I've never even heard of I've never even heard the name before. But it's basically like a potato dumpling. It was a progue or something, a preggy, whatever.
No idea.
No, preggy's a chick. A pierogi. It was
Adrian Peterson chick.
No, yeah, exactly. A preggy is a chick that's gone out with Adrian Peterson. But there's like it was like basically they took like some cheesy mashed potatoes and put it inside of a wonton and fried it up. So it's like a potato dumpling. It was called like a pierogi or a preggy.
No idea.
Well, whatever.
I know if you said the right term, I would know what it is, but I cannot think of it.
I've
had them.
That's what they show to make on diners, drive-ins, and dives with the bleach blonde idiot.
Yeah, that douchebag.
Yeah. But it's not. You know what? I actually don't mind that show though. I mean, there's something about that show. I mean, I don't like watching shows. Hi, Sam. He wants a beer.
Widowmaker.
Yeah, and he's much more entertaining if he's a little lubed up. So
that's a fact.
Yeah,
keep him coming.
Maybe drop a little depth charge.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
So anyway, back on topic. Were we on a topic?
Do we have a topic? Have we had a topic yet?
Have you guys been to Nice? Either of you?
Yes.
Not.
I've been to Nice one time in my life. I've driven past it millions of times.
It's kind of sad.
I got the news today. I had a good time when I was there. And but I have to be one of those people that I can't be all bent out of shape because I've only been there one time. I haven't supported the fucking place.
No, but it is.
So
but
the question
sad.
is, will I be there now? Because they're doing it like a 9-month. They're not closing until like fucking September.
What a smart move, by the way.
Yes. So in Derek Jeter fashion, I'm gonna have time to go visit them before they close.
Hey, everybody.
Exactly.
You've never been here before?
Yeah.
I mean, and you will bring all the people that have been going there, but now, yes, I've only been there once or twice myself, and now I'll go check it out again.
Yeah.
So.
Did you have fun there?
Yeah,
Did you
I
polka?
vaguely remember it.
Did you polka?
No, no polka.
I can tell you this. It's a very popular place. People love it. The actor Vince Vaughn, who was born here, but he didn't grow up here, he visits that place once or twice a year.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Huh. I haven't seen him there, but I read a story about him.
About polkas, it seems to have a real... They seem to be real focused on weight, which makes sense because it's big in Wisconsin, polka. I mean, I know the name of one polka band, the Six Fat Dutchmen.
That's one more than I know.
Okay. Yeah, and have you ever heard the Too Fat polka? I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat for me. That's a legitimate polka.
That rings a bell.
That's like a polka classic. It's like a polka standard. It is like Stairway to Heaven of polka. I don't want her, you can have her, she's too fat. What kind of people are these polka people? I mean, they're just a bunch of overweight German, Germanic people living in Wisconsin, pointing out that everybody's fat, which in Wisconsin, it's self-evident. You don't have to write songs about it.
Exactly,
Open your eyes. Walk out the front door. You're in fucking Wisconsin. Everybody's fat.
Let's keep on that topic for a while. I could rip on Wisconsin for the next 20
minutes. We're going
to
get to that because we've had a bad 2 weeks. And I know you hate Wisconsin.
Worse than
as much as I know you hate Dave Sinekin. It's with a passion.
Can't stand Dave Sinekin.
I know you want to kill him.
He's a nice guy. No, hang on. You've told me he's a nice guy. I don't know Dave Sinekin. I don't hate Dave Sinekin. I hate the fact that Clear Channel employs the bastard on...
Huh?
Okay.
Oh, No More Widow.
Oh, that's still a good one.
Yeah, he's not going to turn it down.
I was on a Dave Sinekin rant. I hate the fact that he works in radio.
Right.
I don't.
Well, there's two Dave Sinekins. The Dave Sinekin on the radio, I hate with a passion too.
Okay, that's the one I know, the one I'm referring to.
He boasts on the Packers. He just talks trash.
Yes,
and from time to time he's a little delusional.
He's a smug douchebag.
But in person, he's a saint. In person, he's a fantastic human being. He is. He's a great person.
He'd help me change a tire while he's talking about the fucking Packers. How great they are.
Yeah, I just found out Nadine Babu's a Packer fan, and that crushed me because she was great on the show. Remember how much fun she was?
But she's from Wisconsin too. I mean, if you're from
Wisconsin, you have the right to like that team. Just go back there.
I have no problem with that.
Plenty of land.
The jobs are over here, though.
Well, I really struggle with people who have strong Gopher ties and Gopher loyalty, but they're Packer fans. I love Nate Condon, Gopher hockey captain last year, but he was from Wausau and loved the Packers. I can't get past the fact that underneath that maroon and gold, he's probably got a green and gold T-shirt on as he's playing hocky for us.
It's disrespectful.
I'm so torn by that. I mean, it rips me up inside.
I hear you.
So anyway, for the Wisconsin haters among us, and we are strong Wisconsin haters. And the thing is, the state, I don't hate the state. I just hate the people.
And by the way, Dave,
I actually love the state.
The state's great. If the people would all just pack up and move to Illinois.
You mean, the land and the woods and
lakes and stuff.
The lakes. It's like Minnesota 1A and then B, or 1 and 1A.
Yeah, it's especially the northern part of the state. I mean, I've been up to Hayward.
And Milwaukee's actually not a bad city.
It's okay.
Milwaukee's sweet.
It's okay.
Like
it's okay. But I mean, again, for it to be a state that actually want to spend time in, you'd have to round up the entire population and either kill them or move them to Illinois. Or maybe do like a sparsely ship them out to Idaho because there's all kinds of room.
Well, the Iron Range, you can have them in Minnesota.
Well, no, they can't come. No, they're not coming to my house.
You know what?
No, they're not. There goes the neighborhood. They're not coming here.
Poison a few kegs of Miller Lite.
That's all it would take.
It would do the trick.
Seriously, and a couple cases of Twinkies. And seriously, it'd be over. It'd be over in Wisconsin.
I spent several.
That actually sounds like it would be a nice way to do it. I think
it'd be pleasant.
It's euthanasia.
Yeah, exactly.
It is. It's
young people in Japan. What?
I think it's very. I don't know what the word is. It's very humane. Just poison some Miller Lite and some Twinkies.
I don't want them to feel pain when they die.
Some illegal injections some lethal injections into some brats. It'd be over. It'd be over painlessly, and then we could have that state to frolic and romp and do what we want.
Yes.
But the
canoe, kayak.
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, I'm so sick of losing.
We could take over Wisconsin Dells. Well, yeah. Then there's that.
In the last week, we lost to the Packers and the Badgers, and that's almost too much. I mean,
the Packers
one
almost doesn't even hurt.
God, what are you trying to do to me? How much do you think I can take? I'm like Scarlett O'Hara in Gone with the Wind. I'm like grasping at the dirt of Terra, just begging for some. But you never saw the movie?
What the fuck, dude? What kind of? You think your listeners want to hear you talk about?
You've never saw Gone with the Wind?
Who has?
Everyone has seen it. I don't know the references, though.
I've never seen it. I'm sure.
I mean, I'm like on my knees begging for a crop to grow. We can't beat Green Bay. We can't beat the Badgers. The Gophers have lost 11 in a row to Wisconsin. Do you know how painful that is for people like me? 11 in a row. People here, I don't think people here have a full
11 in a row to the Badgers?
Yes, and I don't think people here have a full appreciation. And I'm not. This is not a joke. It sounds like I'm in bit mode, but I'm telling you this sincerely. That fan base is a horrible, horrible group of people. I mean, they are drunk, they are rude, they are belligerent, they will punch you because of what you're wearing, they will spit on you because they've had so much to drink. I mean, I've sat in a bar in Wisconsin wearing this hoodie, and that was my only crime. My only crime was wearing this hoodie, and some guy walked up to our table, grabbed a pitcher, and walked over to his table and sat down with it. I went over and I fucking grabbed him, and I locked him up. I went over and I grabbed him by the collar. There's a picture of it on Twitter and Facebook, because there was a Gopher fan that saw me do it. I went over and I locked him up. I grabbed him.
He literally walked up, didn't say shit to you. You just grabbed him.
It was this 21-year-old fraternity punk ass son of a bitch who thought he was going to be so funny in front of all his friends. And I went over there and I fucking threw him down and took my pitcher back. And it was like it was only half full, and it was shitty cheap beer. But fuck him.
No, it's all principle.
I mean, who does that?
It's all principle.
Yeah, I'm not going to be.
Could have been a pitcher of water.
I'm not going to be a pratfall joke for some asshole frat boy in Wisconsin from Madison. Go fuck yourself, you little shithead.
What does
I'll kick his ass.
They just watched you do this to him and then just watched you walk away?
Yeah, I was there with my family, my brothers, and this is years ago.
No, but I'm saying his friends.
Oh,
you walk up to this guy, he's trying to show off for his buddies, and you make a fool out of him.
I think they're pretty scared.
Really? Well, you were on a rampage, huh?
Well, not many people are willing to pound somebody for a half a
that's true.
pitcher of beer. It was all about it was for principle. I was going to beat the shit out of him on principle.
You should have.
I couldn't care less about half a pitcher of beer.
Just pounded his.
But I mean, well, he went home and wet himself.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was shocked that I reacted the way I did. I think he thought, we're just a bunch of docile Minnesotans. We're not going to stand up for ourselves. He can just grab our pitcher and walk away with it. But I mean, I grabbed him around the collar with 2 fistful of whatever the fuck gay shit he was wearing. So it's asshole prat, I don't mean to use gay in a derogatory. I'm sorry, but that was really out of line. But I mean, he's just a little frat boy. He's just a little cocksucking frat boy. Yeah. And I wanted to just pound the shit out of him.
Have you ever been to Camp Randall?
Yeah, many times. Treated like a fucking leper every time.
But
horrible people.
Because a friend of mine who he's not a Wisconsin fan, but we were talking about the game. It's on Friday. The game was the next day, and he said, "Oh man, it's fun being there." I'm like, I have no interest. Would you? I mean, how much fun could it possibly be? Here's why: because I knew the Gophers were going to lose, which sounds really negative, I know, but I proved to be accurate in that prediction. And who wants to be in that stadium when the Gophers get their ass kicked by the Badgers?
Well, yeah, that's a living. My one comfort of the Gophers losing was I knew my family was there and they were in hell. That's the one thing that I went to sleep with a smile on my face. That's the only thing that kept me from killing myself. But I would like to, again, I have gay friends. I want to apologize for the derogatory use of the word gay. I'm way too old, and
I think you can use that term.
I'm
and
not
not
a kid.
mean it in the way you
I'm not
did.
a kid. I shouldn't talk like that.
No, we had it ingrained in us, though, as youngsters, that was just a word you could use, and it isn't.
But it's not, and I've got to stop it. I'm not some 12-year-old idiot. I'm not some frat boy from Wisconsin. I'm better than that. Or at least I'd like to think I am, and I apologize. That was really stupid and insensitive. But anyway.
I forgive you, Jeff.
Well, I appreciate that. Part of it is that I'm not saying I was a homophobe, but I wasn't really. I was a little sheltered and closed-minded at one point in my life, but going to treatment, I mean, you can't go to treatment and not meet and befriend some gay people. I mean, it just is what it is. It's meth is an epidemic. Meth is an epidemic in the gay community.
Yeah.
I mean, and I went through the same similar struggles as some of them, and I've got some gay friends. I mean, I feel bad that I still use that word. I lose my mind from time to time and just spit it out there. That's in a derogatory way, and that's completely inappropriate and just wrong in every sense. But anyway, I digress. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back and have a final segment of the program.
Okay, last year, 2013, I lived just down the road, Pleasant Avenue, just a few blocks here from Uptown Pond, which is right on the corner of Lake and Pleasant. And, there are a couple of times, you just try to get to that next payday, maybe a couple of bucks short. If you've got some items, jewelry, diamonds, electronics, I mean, you come down here and they give you a fair price for it, and then you come back a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever, you get it back at a real reasonable price.
So we're very competitive, we hope, on different angles, in different ends, and different articles, computers, electronics, TVs, jewelry. We buy, we give loans, and we also have emphasis on diamond jewelry too, that we also try and give credit for the best we can. We're specialists in that area also, so it's an all-round sort of combination.
Well, it's a great place. It's a nice, clean place with honest people, and I tell you what, it's got a real family feel to it. As a matter of fact, it's tied into the Strauss family, and I go way back with the late, great Jerry. So, I mean, these are people I know and people I trust. You can find them on Twitter, too, by the way. They're at Uptown Pawn, and also on Facebook, Uptown Pawn, and uptownpawn.net.
And I'll bet you anything they hate Wisconsin as much as I do, because they're good people. They're just good, upstanding people who hate the shit out of Wisconsin.
They don't mind guys off the street just as long as you don't have a Wisconsin driver's license.
Well,
right?
And don't come in wearing a cheese head or a red hoodie. I mean, just go down the street to Pawn America if that's who you're going to be, because we want nothing to do with you. No, I'm just kidding. Uptown Pawn, they're good people. They as a matter of fact, it's kind of here's where I feel bad for them. They have a lot of musical equipment, because pawn shops deal with broke musicians,
struggling artists.
Yes, and
I can relate.
They've got a wall of amps, and they've got this selection of like a dozen guitars hanging right up behind the counter, and they like to advertise from time to time. I mean, as they would want. I mean, on a daily basis, they'll run ads for some of their merchandise on Craigslist.
Word.
But you could flag. You don't even have to have a reason. Just to be a dick, you could go on Craigslist and flag any ad you want, whether it's a personal ad, an ad for merchandise, an ad for. You don't even have to have a reason. If you flag it, Craigslist will take it down. Craigslist takes it down. I mean, so
one flag.
Yeah, it's all it takes.
For a certain amount of time, or it's just gone.
It's just gone. It's in it, and you could repost it, but the same asshole is gonna.
So if you have competition.
So what happens? Here's what happens to them, and this is why I posted the other day on my Twitter account.
Wow.
I showed their amps and their guitars, because local music stores, the Guitar Centers of the world, post that when they see an ad for an amp or a guitar from a pawn shop on Craigslist, they flag it and it's gone. I mean, just because how dare you sell musical?
That doesn't seem right.
Isn't that horseshit?
That seems so bullshit.
It's complete bullshit. And I mean,
you'd at least think they would. Okay, we take it down because it's flagged, because maybe it is something, criminal or something.
Right.
Then they should check it, and within an hour or something, put it back on.
Oh, they don't. I mean, you know how Craigslist is too. An hour later, your ad is irrelevant because it's been pushed to either the bottom of the page or to page 2. So you could repost it, but I mean, you could just reauthor it. I mean, do it again from scratch.
That's bullshit, man.
I mean, if you wanted, let's say you wanted to sell that what was that bracelet made out of?
Tungsten.
You want to sell that tungsten bracelet, and you put it on Craigslist, I can just go and hit flag, and it's gone, and I don't have to explain myself.
Awesome tungsten bracelet. Anybody listening, $50. I'll never wear it.
Yeah, you got ripped off.
It's a good look. It's just not my style.
Yeah. It's very heavy. I mean, it's legit heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost like a workout weight for pregnant ladies. Kind of little things they take on walks.
Yeah.
The little
2-pound.
Those little 2-pound dumbbells that they go walking down.
You want to buy it while you're walking around downtown?
I don't walk. Who are you kidding? Well, no, I do, but as little as possible. But
and with no any friction against it. He doesn't want anything slowing him down.
No. Well, I mean, the computer bag's heavy enough. I loaded up with snacks. Well, it's kind of
healthy snacks too, right?
Well, yeah, I had some jelly beans.
Ho-hos.
I got a couple of ho-hos. No, I don't like the snowballs.
No snowballs.
No, I was never a snowballs guy. I was never a Peeps guy either. But I got the peanut butter bars in there, the nutty bars that are basically like a peanut butter wafer cookie covered in chocolate. Got a couple of ho-hos.
Don't forget the infusion or the infuse.
Here? Oh, dude, that's a sports drink that I picked up at Aldi.
It's Gatorade, generic Gatorade, but it probably tastes exactly the same.
Tastes exactly the same, and it was 65 cents. Wow. That's because Aldi rules.
Heard of it.
This would cost $2 at a Super America. Yeah. It's 65 cents at Aldi.
You can get Aldi as a sponsor.
I consider it to you for hours. I bought the pots of
He could talk Aldi for hours. He's done that.
I bought a giant bag of cheese puffs. I mean, like a big time bag of cheese puffs, like big enough to be a pillow, just not comfortable enough, but big enough to be a pillow. 79 cents.
Now,
I got a big bag of
generic.
No, they're delicious. No, they're not brand name. Like I bought a big thing of what their Doritos, Cool Ranch Doritos are.
Yeah.
If you did a blind taste test, you would never know the difference.
No, he's right. I told him that I have friends over for the Masters golf tournament, 3-4 days. I'm gonna buy shit at Aldi.
It's unbelievable.
Save so much money. take them out of the bag. Not that my buddies would care about brands, but they won't even fucking know because I'll just throw them in bowls and they'll be eating them like,
hey, give me some more Doritos.
I'll spend $5 and they'll be like, what the fuck, Jason? You got like 7 bowls of shit.
Yeah, I mean, remember the kettle chips. I bought kettle chips. You loved them.
Kettle chips are the bomb.
Yeah,
69 cents. Or
it was like $1.19.
Okay.
And it was like it'd be $3
for one of those huge bags.
I consider Cub to be a discount play. I mean, it's not buy or lease. It's a cheap, reasonably priced place. But like the bag of Doritos, the Cool Ranch Doritos that I brought off-brand, for $1.19 would be $3.50 at a cup, and I got it for $1.19. I mean,
for sporting events, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
I'm telling you, Aldi is fucking amazing.
Wow, who knew?
Dude, you can get these microwave burritos.
Just don't make conversation with a lot of people that are
microwave burritos for like 50 cents a pop. Microwave chimichangas for like 70. Dude, you've got to get in.
You live right by one?
Dude,
you
won't even believe it.
Half a mile away from
us. That's my problem. I don't live by one.
You get big boxes of cereal. Now they rip off the brand names. I mean, they're not the brand. Although they must hijack some trucks from time to time. You'll see you'll see Pop-Tarts once in a while. You'll see Oreos once in a while. But for the most part, it's off-brand.
Hijack. They've got a hijack team. They can't hit every.
You just never know what they're gonna get. It's a little hit or miss.
End caps. So everybody sees the brands.
Exactly. But like the off-brand of cereal, I can eat some healthy cereal from time to time. Their version of honey bunches of oats. It's like honey nuts and oats or something.
There's no such thing as healthy
cereal. It's
a
$1.40 for a box of cereal. Not $3.
And that's
not
usually $3 or $4.
Yeah, I mean Aldi is unbelievable. I mean, and I'm not being paid for this. They're clearly not a sponsor of the show.
But we're welcoming.
Well, and Adolf, they're German. They're from Germany, so you fit right in over there.
I don't look like Adolf anymore.
No, but you did.
I did.
For one day, for sure.
Yeah.
I had a couple of bad weeks.
I have pictures.
In all fairness, Adolf doesn't look like Adolf anymore. I would venture a guess.
That's probably accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
even if he was still alive,
didn't they burn down the bunker? I mean, isn't he just a pile of ash?
We'd like to hope.
He's been gone for 70 years.
Yes, he has at his own hand, and he deserved an even worse fate. But it's 10 minutes to the top of the hour, so we got 10 minutes to kill yet. I did not get the trail mix at Aldi, by the way. That came from Costco.
Okay.
Kirkland. Well, anything you get something from Costco, it's Kirkland, right? Isn't that the Costco brand?
Kirkland. Not familiar.
I know nothing about Costco either.
And like the house brand, one of the big house brands at Aldi is Clancy's. It's like you get a big bag of Clancy's ruffled chips for $1.40.
Like Tom Clancy?
No, I don't believe it's Tom. I met him once.
Do you remember when he wanted to buy the Vikings?
Yeah, that's when I met him at a press conference. Really smart.
He had no shot at that.
Really,
no shot.
There's really quite, and I'm not making light of this, but there's really quite a vacuum left in the espionage slash military novel business with Vince Flynn and Tom Clancy.
Tom Clancy, yeah, both.
I mean, like, who was third in? They were the two big shots, right? So whoever's third was third on that list. I mean, I think
there's a lot of writers that do it. They just never made it to that level.
Yeah,
there's not room for that. Somebody will step up. Somebody will step up.
They killed Vince Flynn and Tom Clancy.
Conspiracy you're going?
I'm going conspiracy.
All right, I'm with you.
And I shouldn't have said that because I just said I'm not meaning to make light of this, and then I clearly made light of it.
Yeah.
So I'm a liar and an asshole.
Well,
yes. Yes, you are.
Yes. All of those.
Agreed.
It is what
all
it
of
is.
Those and more.
But I'm also out of material with like 9 minutes to go in the show.
Shocking.
I mean, it's a.
Why don't
Are you gonna let him?
Oh, I got questions.
Possibly
do
this
again.
Well, we can cut it off whenever you want.
Well, okay. That's true. We can. But the three we kind of stopped doing Grill the Host just because I forgot.
Bringing it back.
You're so inappropriate.
Jason fucking Lindsay's here. We're bringing it back.
We'll test run it. We're going to give it a test run, but I'm making no promises because you were very inappropriate.
The first question I ever asked you was how many women you've had sex with.
Which is inappropriate.
I knew, but I set the tone. So since then, it's kind of like.
You also asked a question.
It's kind of like get a reputation as an early riser and you can sleep till noon.
Didn't you ask me a question that was in?
So you think every question since then is inappropriate, but they haven't been.
Well, wait a second. Did you ask me a question the first time you were on the show that was basically designed to get me to rip somebody? It was either PA or
no. But that's a good idea. So let me ask you this: how do you?
If somebody did that.
If Dave Sinekin was in front of you and you had to kill him for $10 million, would you? That's not the question. You don't have to answer that.
I'd kill myself for $10 million.
Yeah,
wait a second.
Wait, what?
But there's nobody I wouldn't kill.
Listen, I don't want to go on record because in this record, but
I've been watching Sons of Anarchy. I think it's hardened me. I would kill for $10 million.
We've talked about. I'm trying to save up $10,000 to bribe Chad Abbott to fire Dave Sinekin.
I need $10 million. I mean, I'm not going to take a life for $10,000. I wouldn't even kill a dog for $10,000.
But I think Chad Abbott would take $10,000 and fire Sinekin. So
Chad Abbott is a man of principle.
Bullshit.
Not everyone is bought and sold.
Yeah, whatever.
You've got
your favorite kind of cookie?
I'm a chocolate chip guy. I mean, yeah.
That's boring. All right.
It is, but I mean, that is what it is. It's the best.
I with you. Number 2, favorite television show of all time.
The early years of MASH. Nothing compares to the first 3 years of MASH.
God, you're old.
You are old. I know.
You're so fucking old.
The first 3 years of MASH were unbelievable.
Now,
with Wayne Rogers and McLean Stevenson
how old are you,
and Larry Linville.
I'm 34.
34. I'm 41. You're 56.
40. I'm 46.
46.
The first 3 years of MASH are the best TV ever put together.
I'm old enough to remember when the last episode, like everybody dropped what they were doing and watched it. It was like 1981.
The show,
yeah.
The Goodbye Farewell.
I was like 8. You were.
I was 1.
You were 1.
And the show had sucked for years by that point.
You were 30.
I mean,
how long was it on?
For like 10 years at least, and the Korean conflict lasted like what, a year, 2 years, whatever it was. I mean,
1950, 1953.
And he knows dates like you would not believe. He's a date nerd.
I am.
It's outrageous.
Yes.
But, I mean, so how does the show go like 7 years longer than the war? It doesn't make sense. But the guys have aged like 10 years, and I guess war could age you. But it became such. Just an over-the-top, liberal, preachy, whiny, bitchy, anti-war show by the end. It's just, and I know that. I mean, I'm not trying to say there should be a pro-war show, but I mean, it got to the point where, as much as I like Alan Alda, and I'm gonna say I love Alan Alda. I think he's hilarious, and he was great when he did a bit role on 30 Rock. But it got to the point where it's like, you've got to stop preaching to me, Alan Alda. You've got to just leave me alone. I mean, the first few years of the show, he was just this wisecracking, practical joking, bad attitude asshole. And I love that because I relate to that. But, I mean, that didn't last long. I mean, the first 3 years of the show were similar. Not as hardcore or as funny as, but they were similar to the movie. They were very similar to the movie.
I was going to say, it was based on a movie.
Yeah, and the only guy, and Gary Berghoff was the only guy, I believe, that for some reason, the African-American who went by the nickname of Spear Chucker did not make the TV series. They wrote that character out for some reason.
Shocking.
Well, in their defense, in the movie, he was somebody who was a javelin All-American in track and field. So they called him Spear Chucker. But anyway, it's very politically incorrect.
It's hilarious as shit, but politically
incorrect. I can see why he didn't make the CBS roster. When they brought it to prime
broadcast
time.
TV.
Yeah, I can see why. But those first 3 years were pretty raw and fairly raunchy and really quality TV. They were. What are you looking at me?
I've never seen one episode in its entirety.
Really?
I remember that Jamie Farr dressed as a woman, right? Is that accurate?
Yeah, Jamie Farr is the least funny human being in the world.
Correct.
And his character on MASH was not any
no,
good at all.
I agree with.
Yeah.
But
Larry Linville was.
But people
genius.
loved the show, and it still has one of the highest. I mean, we had half the people in the country then that we do now, and it's probably I think it still has.
That's pre-cable. I mean, at least it started pre-cable.
You got a point.
There
was 4 channels.
Right.
Yeah.
You'd get a 40 share if you were a good show.
Yeah.
So we'll turn the page. Next question. One last one. If you were single.
I am. What do you mean if? Well, I have a group. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm seeing somebody.
That's what I mean.
Okay. Well, I never know if single means not married or if it means you're not seeing somebody.
No, you're not. You got nothing but X, whatever that website
well, whatever.
is. Lobster tube.
No.
If you were single, who is on the top of your list of women you'd like to have sex with? Now, you can answer this, and even if your gal hears this, because this is under the hypothetical that she broke up with you tonight.
Even though she's kind of getting old, I've always been a big Jennifer Aniston guy. I don't know why.
She's younger than you.
Well, she's in her 40s.
But she looks great in Horrible Bosses. I just watched the first one for the first time, and
she
looks
great. Yeah, she hasn't lost it.
Well, she's doing the second one, right? That's coming out.
It's out right now.
Yeah, it's out now. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Jennifer Aniston,
it's the first one wasn't very good. But the cast is phenomenal. I mean, I think Jason Sudeikis is hilarious.
Yeah, it's
and the guy from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Oh, he's a riot.
Jason Bateman.
Charlie Day.
Bateman.
Charlie Day's
Charlie Day.
And
Kevin
Jason Bateman.
Spacey's role is fantastic.
Kevin Spacey, Jennifer Aniston, Jason Bateman. They're all. I mean, Arrested Development might be the best. I mean, to backtrack a little bit, it's not my favorite sitcom. But it's probably the most cleverly written, the most intelligent sitcom I've ever seen.
Which is why it didn't work.
Yeah,
it never fully worked because it's almost too good.
Yeah. I mean, mediocrity appeals to the masses, and excellence is
especially Wisconsin.
Excellence appeals to a select few.
Especially Wisconsin.
Well, I'm telling you,
they're below mediocrity there. What do you think their favorite television show in Wisconsin is?
Hee Haw.
Yeah,
Hee Haw and Lawrence Welk.
They channel reruns of Hee Haw.
Hee Haw and Lawrence Welk.
That's probably accurate.
Absolutely. They get the Six Fat Dutchman on Lawrence Welk, and they get a little Conway Twitty on Hee Haw. They're in hog heaven.
McGovern, who's your woman? I mean, you can't take Jennifer Aniston, so you'd have to go with
Brad Pitt.
Or you could say Guy too. That's okay.
Well,
since I mean,
if I swung that way, what's the Kate Upton? I think Kate Upton is probably the hottest chick in the world.
She sounds hot. I can't picture her.
She's a model.
She's like a 19-year-old supermodel. She's
okay.
Well, she's not 19 anymore.
Well, she's what? Maybe she's 21 now. I mean, she's still a youngster.
She's of legal age.
Yeah. Well, she's always been, as far as I knew her. Yeah. She's always 18 at least. I wasn't following her before that. I'm not a creeper.
Yeah, that would be stalking.
Whatever.
Kate Upton is probably the hottest chick.
All right.
Since you threw out the question, who's yours?
I mean, that's a swimsuit model. That's really not going under a branch. But anyway.
Well, Jennifer Aniston's really, really going out there.
I don't know.
I figured you'd have somebody in mind.
I don't. I don't pay attention. Let me think of somebody in their 20s, 30s, 40s. Aniston would be on the list, but that would have been 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson.
But women in their 40s, I'm telling you.
Maybe.
Yeah, her.
Yeah.
Dude, you got to start.
No, I know. How about this? What's her name? One of the. I can't. She's.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, I got nothing.
you got to start.
I can't think of her name.
You said Aniston.
She was in.
Give us something. Come on.
Well, you said Aniston 10 years ago.
She was in the Black Swan movie.
Oh,
Natalie Portman.
I
go Natalie Portman. How about that?
Been in love with
but
her.
I'm telling you right now.
I think she's crazy.
You've got to start sleeping with women in their 40s because it's outrageous. I'm telling you.
I got to stop sleeping with women in the 50s because that's where I'm at right now.
No, yeah, right. I mean, Natalie Portman's probably in her late 20s at the most.
She's probably in her 30s now.
Maybe.
That's old enough.
She was so hot in the Star Wars movies.
Oh.
But that basically makes me sound like a stalker nerd. And
Black Swan.
Well,
I literally the first and only movie in my adult life that I got aroused in the theater that wasn't
the end of the God, which one was it? The Clone Wars movie. At the end of that, she's in like a little white stretchy suit. She's jumping around and bending and flexing. Oh, she's fabulous.
I did for her.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
Good point.
All right, well we got to get out of here. Wisconsin, you could suck it.